I like the fact that people get together, come to this event, and really put their brains together, and we exchange conversations that are extremely important to the coastal area, but not only that, for the state of Texas, because it's not just the coast, it affects the whole state. So it is a really good event.
This weekend has been about talking about the total experience of disaster recovery. So we have covered everything from meteorology, the new technology of predicting disasters, to how to finance the recovery and insurance issues around disaster, to the long-term structural engineering that's necessary to prepare our communities to have better infrastructure, to be more resilient, to try to prevent the huge damages that have happened in the past from major hurricanes.
It truly is a whole Texan issue. It's not just part of Texas. So it's good to come together as a whole state because we get it all. I mean, we don't get the avalanches, but maybe one day.
A lot of people that move in don't realize the hazards of Texas depending on the geographical location of where they live. So the biggest challenge that I see going forward is working with our local government partners to make sure that communities are prepared, and it is an individual level of preparedness.
The reason why we chose to have this meeting in Galveston is there is no better place in Texas than Galveston to really talk about the experience of bouncing back and building resilience to natural disasters.
Galveston, as a major city, on the coast, it's very important to the state, but it's important, kind of for what I'm doing is because the people here are the people that we're trying to help.
We had an amazing fireside chat with two former mayors, one who was mayor during Hurricane Ike, and the other was mayor after Hurricane Ike and during a lot of the recovery process and dealing with many of the political issues and community issues that take place, to give everyone a chance to tell their story and participate in the recovery process and get back into their homes.
Many of them had lost their homes, lost their belongings, lost an awful lot of their just general living experience, but it didn't let them stand in the way. They fought hard, they helped the city, they helped the city government rebuild the city.
Just to kind of share perspectives now that some time has passed about what we did together, what we learned, and our collective thoughts about how communities all around the state and the country should be thinking about preparing for recovering from a big natural disaster.
We had the opportunity to do some behind-the-scenes tours that were very special for our group in Galveston. I, growing up in Galveston, have never been to some of these places, so it was a really fun experience. First, we toured the Level 4 Biosafety National Lab at University of Texas Medical Branch. We got a behind-the-scenes tour of all the different levels of biosafety there. And we also toured the Moody Mansion. We had the opportunity to meet with Betty Massey, who's been an incredible force in our community, both before Hurricane Ike and also in the whole recovery process after the disaster. If I had one thing that I hope that all Texas Lyceum members would take away from this weekend, it would be to be prepared for the uncertain, because as Chief Nim Kidd, the Texas Chief of Emergency Management, told us in his keynote speech, there's so many details that we don't think about on a daily basis that are so important. When that emergency strikes, it helps a lot if you have a plan beforehand.
Each person needs to have an emergency communications plan with their family and an emergency relocation plan in case they can't get home or they can't get to work, and then an emergency management plan for how they're going to recover from any of the loss that happens to their property.
It is not a coastal issue. It is not an issue that just is important to the people who live along the coast. It's an issue that's important to the state, the entire state, and to the nation.